Hello, my name is Paul Miners and welcome to another one of my Asana training videos. In this video, I want to give you some habits and best practices that I think new users need to adopt when using Asana. In terms of just when you open Asana every day, what are the things that I think you should be doing? What places do you need to check and what habits and routines do you need to get into? Now, if you have any questions at the end of this video, please feel free to leave me a comment below. And if you would like more help with Asana, getting help setting up your account, onboarding your team, even automating parts of your project management workflow, then check out the link in the description below to learn more about my Asana consulting options. So let's get into this video. Now, probably the first thing that I do every morning when I get into Asana is I come to My Tasks page. This page, My Tasks, shows you everything that you have assigned to you from all of the different tasks, projects, and subtasks that you are working on. So here's an example of a task. It's got my name on it. That's why it's showing up here in the My Tasks page. Here's a subtask. Again, it's got my name on it, so it appears here. Now, I have some rules set up where if a due date is approaching, actually, let me show you if I close that. If I go to my customize options here, I have a rule where if a due date is approaching and it is due today, Asana will automatically move that task to this section that I call today. So for me, the really nice thing about this system is when I log in the morning, my today section has automatically populated with anything that is due today or that has a start date of today. And so one of the first things I do is I rearrange my tasks. I put them into the order I want to do them. So I'm recording these videos right now, so I'm going to put that at the top. But basically I set my priorities for the day. Everything's due today, but I just rank them in the order in which I want to work on those tasks. And simply throughout the day, I just work from this screen. So when I complete a task, I'll click on it, I can mark it as complete up here, and then I will move on to the next thing. I find a lot of new users spend a lot of time clicking through their projects, but I find the more efficient, effective way to use Asana is to stay on this My Tasks page throughout the day because it really keeps you focused on the things that you have to do today. Now, I've got sections for everything I have due today, what I have coming up this week, what I have coming up next week, and anything that's more than a week away goes into later. Now, you could completely customize these sections if you like. What I've seen some people do is have a section for morning and afternoon. You could plan your time like this. Instead of having the today section, you could do morning and afternoon. This is actually something that I used to do. Or what I've seen some people do is have priority sections. So you could say high priority and, low priority. It's completely up to you in terms of how you want to organize your tasks. But my takeaway here is however you like to see your work from this screen, because it means that instead of clicking through each project to go and find your tasks, if you've organized them well on this page, everything should be nice and organized and ready to go in front of you. Once I've planned my tasks and I have my agenda for the day ready to go, I'll usually visit my inbox. The inbox is the notification system of Asana, and it tells you about tasks that have been updated or comments on tasks. So especially if you're using Asana in a very collaborative way with a team, you really want to be checking this inbox regularly throughout the day to make sure you are up to date on tasks that are coming in. So I usually go to the bottom first. I like to deal with the first in, first out method. So here's a task that's just telling me that this, here's a notification, telling me that this task has been complete. Judy's completed that. So I can respond down here with a comment, or I can click the like button. And then the important step is, once I've dealt with this, I can archive the notification. It just simply clears it out of my inbox. So I know that I don't have to look at that anymore. Here's another one telling me that another task has been completed. That's great. I can respond, I can deal with this. And then again, I archive. Here's a comment. I've actually already responded to this. So I've replied, and again, I click archive. And I basically keep working through my inbox in this way where I'm responding to comments, I'm updating tasks if needed, and I'm just getting up to date with the changes to the tasks that I'm collaborating on. Once you've dealt with all of your notifications, you should get to a screen that looks like this. This is inbox 0. This means that I'm completely up to date with all of the notifications in Asana. This is a really important step to get to, is to try and clear your inbox and reach inbox 0 at least once a day. But as your use of Asana increases, as you use it more within your team, you'll probably need to start checking Asana and the inbox multiple times a day so that you are well aware and up to date on comments and updates that are coming in. Something else I will do throughout the day as needed is I will forward emails into Asana. So if I get an email a bit like this, where somebody, this is just me as an example, but somebody's asking me to do something, or there's some kind of action that I need to take as a result of this email, what I can do is forward this email to x@mail.asana.com. That's the same address for everyone. And Asana is going to see that it's from my email address, and it's going to add this as a task into my account. So I can change the subject of the email before I hit send. I can say, update website logo, and I can clean up the message a little bit. Maybe I don't need that signature, but I want the attachment and the message included. And this is going to become this is all going to go into the notes of my task. So I'll click send on that now, and I'll give it a minute, and this should create a new task for me in my account. So here we go. Here's an example of that email that I just forwarded in. You can see the subject of the email is the task name. The body of the email goes into the task description. It's automatically assigned to me, and even the attachments from the email have been included in here as well. If I need to, or what I would probably do next, is I would put a date on this and decide, when am I going to do this? I'll maybe come back to this on Wednesday. I'm also going to put it into a project that's relevant. I'm just going to put this into my website section of my business project. And now that I have that organized, I'm going to come back to this on Wednesday. I'm going to move that to my this week section. It means I'm not distracted by this now. I've moved it to this week, this section here. And because I have that rule set up, when I log into my tasks and look at my tasks on Wednesday morning, this task will have automatically moved up into that today section. So forwarding your emails into Asana is a really nice way of spending less time in the inbox, in your email inbox, and not using email as a to-do list, because it's not really a great to-do list. Asana is much better for managing your tasks and your workload. So forwarding emails into Asana is a really nice way of managing all of your work in one place. Something else I will often do throughout the day is, if I've created a task like this in my Asana account, maybe I need to make some time to actually work on this on my calendar. And this is where I use the time blocking methodology that I've talked about before in various YouTube videos. So if I hop on, in fact, what I might do is just copy this task name quickly. And then if I switch over to my calendar, what I might do is quickly create a little block of time on Wednesday for when I actually need to work on that task. You don't have to take that step. It's not really even an Asana feature, but it's something that I like to do to really make sure that I'm making time for the tasks that I'm assigning to myself in Asana. Now, throughout the day, as I am working on tasks, I will update the task with any relevant information or updates to keep everyone involved, up to date with what's going on. So if I'm working on these videos right now, if I have collaborators down here, like Warwick, I can share an update and say, hey, working on this now, or I can say, look, this is something I need. Can you give me some feedback? But basically, I will record my progress and maybe sometimes put extra notes or even attachments into the task as I'm going. What we both like to do, actually, Warwick, my contractor, and I, is we really like to use Asana to sort of leave breadcrumbs behind in terms of the progress we've made and what we need to do next. So that if I revisit this task tomorrow or next week, instead of spending the first 5 or 10 minutes trying to figure out where did we get to, what do we need to do next, we really like documenting our progress and logging what we've done so far down here in the comments. So when we look at the task again, we know immediately what progress we made and what we need to do next. And of course, when I complete the task, I simply mark it as complete up here. That gets it off my task list for the day, and I can move on to the next task. If I don't complete all my tasks in the day, rather than letting them go overdue, I will actually update the due dates and decide, when do I want to revisit this? So let's look at this YouTube comments one. Maybe I just didn't have time to do this today. What a lot of people do is they just leave the task, and then tomorrow it's going to appear that this due date is overdue and it's going to turn red. And this just adds a lot of mess and just noise to my tasks. So what I do at the end of my day, as I'm sort of closing down and wrapping up for the day, is I will update these dates. And I'll say, right, obviously I didn't have time for it. Maybe I'll come back to it tomorrow, or maybe I'll come back to it later this week. and then I'll sort it, I'll move it into my this week section. And just like I mentioned before, that rule that I have set up will then resurface the task on Friday so I can be reminded about this again. So I never have any overdue tasks, not because I'm really good at getting everything done. I sometimes run out of time just like everyone else, but I just have a really good end of day process to clean things up and move things to the next day or the following week so that my Asana account stays really nice and clean and organized. So those are some of the things that I like to do on a daily basis to make sure I'm keeping up to date with everything that I'm working on or that I need to give feedback on. It allows me to move from one piece of work to the next in a really efficient way. And at the end of the day, I can tidy up, prepare for the next day, and make sure my Asana account is well organized and it's not getting messy with overdue tasks. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to leave me a comment below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you'd like to get more out of Asana and need help setting up or optimizing your account, if you want to automate more of your project management process, and you want to correctly train and onboard your team, then check out my Master Asana program. When you sign up, you'll be able to join twice weekly group calls so you can get help from me and get your questions answered anytime you need support. You can also book private one-on-one consulting sessions with me where we can take a deep dive into your account. I can show you key features, and I can even do group training workshops as well. And finally, you'll get access to my online course, which goes into a lot more depth and detail and covers topics that I don't cover on YouTube. So if you truly want to master Asana, then sign up today and I'll see you on the inside.